I will show you a weird trick that could solve this very hard Sudoku. And with that, it's solving time. Start by looking for digit restrictions from 1 to 9. You look at the ones, there are not any cells that we can solve right now, or 3 by 3 blocks where the ones are just restricted to 2 cells. So I'm going to move on to the 2s. The 2s, you might notice there's only 2 places for a 2 right here in block 1, so I'll mark that. Also, only 2 places for a 2 in block 9. Greetings, friend. I want to thank Sulfur for this amazing puzzle. The intended solve path features a weird trick that I've never seen in any other Sudoku before, and I've solved hundreds. It is jaw-dropping cool. To get to that point, you need to keep finding restrictions. Continue with the 3s. Might notice with these 2 3s, only 2 places for a 3 in block 1, and only 2 places for a 3 in block 6. Nothing else you can do with the 3s. Let's move on to the 4s. With the 4s, you might see there's 2 places for a 4 in block 3, and with these 2 4s and this 4, 2 places for a 4 in block 8. Nothing else there. Move on to the 5s, and you see with these 2 5s, there's 3 possibilities for a 5 in block 6. I'm not going to mark that. I stick to just marking 2 in case you solve one of these cells for additional digit. You can solve this for a 3. It's called Snyder notation, and it works really well for finding these restrictions. Let's move on to the 6s. 2 places for a 6 in block 5, and with these 2 6s, 2 places for a 6 in block 7. And then if you look with this 6 and this 6, you have 2 places for a 6 in block 9, but it's a pointing pair as well, which means it's in the same column. And so since the 6 is restricted to these 2 cells in the same column, a 6 cannot appear anywhere else along this column. So you can't put a 6 here or here anymore, otherwise no place to put a 6 in block 9. And you can learn more about pointing pairs in my free Sudoku solving guide. But what it does is it restricts the 6s to these 2 cells in block 3. Okay, move on to the 7s. And you see there's 2 places for 7 in block 9. And that's all we can do with the 7s. Move on to the 8s. You'll see with these 8s and this 8, 2 places for an 8 in block 2. And then with these 2 8s and this 8, 2 places for an 8 in block 4. And in block 9 with these 2 8s, 2 places right here. Move on to the 9s, and with that 1 9, there's no other restrictions that we can mark. And so you see there's nothing that is solved just yet. So you gotta look for more advanced strategies. And before I move on to the next step, time for our question of the day. What did you do at this point in the puzzle? Please, please drop in the comments. Let me and the other viewers know how you approach this solve and help me grow the best Sudoku community on YouTube. It starts with your feedback. Since we have no solves, you need to look for advanced strategies in one of 2 ways. One, you're going to look at the single candidate strategies that can all be of one candidate, or you look for Bivalue cells. It's helpful to look at the Bivalue cells and see where the restrictions are in this puzzle. Let's mark those. So this cell right here can't be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or an 8. That's going to be a 7, 9. So I'm using corner marking to mark that Bivalue cell, or also call it a BVC. Right here, if you do that and look, you'll see that this can only be a 5 or a 7. This can only be a 1 or a 5. This can only be a 2 or a 4. If you look right here, looking at the 1, 3, 4 here, 6, 7 there, 2 and the 8, this is only be a 5 or a 9. This can only be a 3 or a 9. And what's interesting is that this cell can also only be a 3 or a 9. I'll get back to that. This can only be a 1 or a 9. This cell can only be a 2 or a 3. And we've marked all the Bivalue cells. Now that you notice we have a 3 and a 9 right here, since they're in the same row, that is a naked pair. And so the 3 and 9, one has to be here and one has to be there. So you cannot have a 3 or 9 in any other cell outside the orange cells. in that row. And so it restricts the 3s. They can't be in these cells. And you have this 3 here and this 3 here. So now you can mark the 3s in these 2 cells. That is it. There is nothing else we can do. These Bivalue cells all throughout the puzzle don't really connect to each other other than that naked pair. So we need to look and think about the name of the puzzle. It's called Sardine Packed. And so Sulfur puts a great hint in the name of the puzzle, because packed means that there's going to be some restriction probably on an individual cell. Sardine refers to fish. And there are Sudoku strategies named after fish. Let's see if we can find one. Let's check out the ones again, but mark where all the ones could be in this puzzle, all the possibilities. And so I'm going to do some coloring here. And ones can be there, they can be here, they can be all here. And mark that in blue. All right, looks like it's kind of like a crossword grid, right? However, there is something pretty powerful going on. Look in columns 3, 5, and 7, like I said in the thumbnail. I'm going to put these in green for a particular reason. But you might notice in columns 3, 5, and 7 that the ones are restricted to the same 3 rows. Rows 3, 5, and 7. Because if you put a 1 here, then it can go here and there, right? And so it fills one of those green squares in those columns. If you put the 1 here, it could be either there and there, or in these 2 cells. Either way, in these green these green cells, you're going to have a 1 in each of these rows. And so what that means is you can't have 1s in any of these cells that are outside of those green cells in those rows, right? Because if you put a 1 in one of those cells, and I'll show you what I mean here. So let's say you put a 1 right there. Then what you'd see is these cells could not contain a 1. And so you could put a 1 right here, but then you might notice after you remove this 1, in columns 5 and 7, a 1 can only go in row 3, and that would break the puzzle. You can't put a 1 in 2 places in the same row. That's why we know that the ones have to be restricted to these green cells. You can eliminate all of these other possibilities in the row. This is a Sudoku Swordfish, also known as a 3x3. And I think that's the hint that Sulfur has given you in this puzzle. And so removing all that, you'll see there's some restrictions we can put down here. But this is only part of it. Remember, I told you a weird trick. I've covered many swordfish in my solving videos. However, it's going to get a little bit more interesting here. So remember that I put the 1s in green, and I marked these restrictions of 2 possibilities in these outer cells. So remove that. Let's look at the 2s. We didn't make any solves yet. There's 2 possibilities for 2. What and where can the 2s be at this point in the puzzle? Okay, we're going to look here, here. Those 2 places for a 2. And what you might see if you look in columns 3, 5, and 7 is that you have a swordfish of 2s, right? They're limited to the same 3 rows, rows 3, 5, and 7. This is awesome, but there's more to it, okay? And so the same thing, you know that 2s can't be in any of these cells because of the swordfish, for the reason I showed you with the 1s. What you might see here, and this is where the weird trick is going to come into play, is that many of the possibilities for the 2 are the same as for the 1s. And so what I want to do is show you where the 1s can be in columns 3, 5, and 7, and where the 2s can be. And then this is how you're going to see the weird trick I was talking about. So the 1s could be in these 2 cells, all 3 of these, and these 2 in columns. And remember, I did green for the 1, so I'll do green again. This is why I colored the 1s in green. Initially, I wanted to keep it clear. And so you got to look, where can the 1s be? You know, they can be here or here. If a 1 was right there, then a 1 has to be there, and a 1's got to be right there. And what would that do with the 2s? We're going to consider both of these. 2s be there, there, and there. What you need to notice is that a 2 or 1 is in this center cell. Okay? So So that's one of the possibilities for the 1. The other possibility for this one swordfish would be right here. And then you can do here and here. And what would that do for the 2s? You could have a 2 here, and then 2 there and there, okay? Or the 2 could be here, here, and here. Makes sense, right? 1 is in the center. The other possibility for these 1s is the 1 could be up here, which puts a 1 right there. And then what does that do to the 2s? Well, it restricts the 2s to these 3 cells. You know, so 2's in the center. Okay, so we went through all the possibilities of the swordfish 1s and the swordfish 2s and how they'd have to interact in this puzzle. Every time, one of these digits had to be in the middle. And what you'll see is, what if we took it out, right? What if this was not a 1 or a 2? The other possibilities are 3, 7, or 9. So if you put a 3 here, it doesn't seem like a big deal until you try to work out this Sudoku. Because you put a 1 there, the 1 has to be here and here because of the green cells, which would restrict your 2 to right there. And what you'll notice is you can't put a 2 anywhere in column 5. Then you could put a 1 here, and then you have the 1 there and there. And what does that do for the 2s, right? You have to have a 2 here, only placed in column 7. But where do you put a 2 in column 5? It doesn't go anywhere. It breaks. So this weird trick is that these swordfish are dependent on each other, and you have to have a 1 or a 2 in that cell. This is really awesome logic. So this has to be a 1 or a 2. Amazing sulfur. I really, really enjoy this. So what does that do for our puzzle? Because you want to see what's the impact of this. Well, where can a 3 go now in column 5? Can't be here or here because of this 3. And it can't be here because of this 3, and it can't be there anymore. So this now has to be your 3, which allows you to kind of solve a couple of these Bivalue cells. Nice. So you got a 3, a 9, and a 1 right there. Displace that 1. And when I call these are Snyder notation marks. So if you can't solve the cell there and you displace that Snyder mark, you can solve it in the other possibility. So now we can put a 1 there in block 4. And then look again, where can a 7 go? Here in column 5. Can't be here because of this 7, can't be there anymore, and it can't be here because of this 7. So this now has to be your 7, which allows you to solve this for a 5 and solve that for a 1. And you can displace this Snyder 1, solve this for a 1, displacing that Snyder 3. So you're starting to get some solves here. This is nice. Okay, after solving that, what you might see here is, how can we solve some more of these cells? With this 3 cutting across here, got 2 places for a 3 here, and so a 3 can't be there, can't be here because of this 3. You can solve this cell now for a 3. Awesome. You can move that for a 3, doing a little cleanup there, and then with this 3, and the 3's having to be in one of these spots, you can displace that Snyder 3, solve this cell now for a 3 in block 1. And we're not done. We're just getting started. With this 4, you might notice the 4's got to be in one of these 3 cells in column or block 6. So it's a pointing triple of 4's. So 4 can't be here anymore. The only place left to put a 4 in block 3 would be right there. And then with this 4, you can solve this cell for a 4. And then with this 4, you can solve for 4 right here. And you'll see then you have 2 places for a 4 in block 6. Okay, how about the 5's? With these 2 5's and this 5 now, you can solve this cell for a 5 in block 6. And now let's look here. You see you have a full house, 8 of the 9 cells filled out. The only thing left is a 2, so you can solve that for a 2 in block 1. And then let's look now on the impact in column 5. You have a 3, 4, 5, 6, and 8. You need a 1, 2, or 9. We got a 1, 2 right there, and I got a 1 right here. You can use my neat naked triple trick to solve all 3. This has to be your 9. The only place the 1 can go is right there, and this is going to be your 2. Awesome. And so now you can displace this Snyder 2 and solve this cell for a 2, allowing you to solve this cell for a 4, solve that for a 2, and this has to be your 7. And then because of this 7, that's going to be a 7 displacing that Snyder 8. Great. And we can remove this 7 mark from right there. And you see, we just continue to make more and more solves as we go along. With this 7 and these two 7s, you can solve for 7 right there, displacing that Snyder 6. Okay. And then you can see with this 7, you can solve for 7 right here, which allows you to have a 6 or 9 right there. But you might notice 6, 8, 9 cut across here because of this 9. A 9 can't be there or there. This has to be your 9, displacing that Snyder 6. Bring that 6 across. Only place for a 6 in block 1 is right there, which leaves you with a 5 and a 9. Okay, I'll just mark the 5 and 9 real quick. But you might also see there's only one digit left right here. That has to be a 5. So we can mark that 5. And then up here, we're looking for a 6 and an 8. Got the 6 right here. So here's your 6, and here is your 8. Awesome. Continue to make these solves. And what you can see is with this 8 cutting across, the 8s are restricted to one of these two cells. It's a nice pointing pair of 8s, right? They have to be in the block. So this 8 can't be here anymore. So you can actually solve this for an 8 and solve this for your 9 now, which allows you to disambiguate the 9 and 5 right there. I love this part. We're gobbling up all these cells. We may, run into some difficulty, but we're going to keep on gobbling as we go. All right, because of this 6, that can't be a 6 anymore. It can actually be a 5. This has to be your 6, displacing that Snyder 8. Great. And then with these two 8s and this 8, you can solve this cell for an 8, displacing that Snyder 4. Always try to remove the marks when you can. Because of this 6, you can displace that 6. That's got to be your 6. And then with this 9, that's going to be your 9. And this is going to be your 5. Great. Another full house right here. I don't see a 9 in row 7, so I'm going to solve that for a 9. And then with these 9s, this has to be your 9 right there. Nice. All right. What do we have left? We got, looks like a 1 and a 5 here. So I'll bring that 5 down, pull it on down. There's a 5, there's a 1. Coming up with the 1s, always just try to go with the last digit you left on. With these 1s, they can solve that for 1. And you can solve this for 2. Okay. And then you'll look and see that we have 1 digit left in column 4. I don't see a 3, so that's got to be your 3, allowing you to disambiguate the 2, 3 right there. Great. And then with these 2s, that's got to be your 2, and our last digit is a 4. You could have solved this puzzle with a different advanced strategy. Now check out this next video to see what that strategy is. Thank you so much for watching.